four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D Championship Edition, baby!
That is right. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We have Spencer Raxter. We have Sam Flannel. We are reunited, and it feels so good. But yes, we are here. Darren McCarty has the 10 pounds of gold. You are looking at the New Way Work Celebrity Golf Champions. And D-Mac, to be fair, it wasn't close.
It wasn't even close, and you know
there
what?
It is.
When you and I are playing Dr. Zeus, green eggs and ham all day, didn't miss a green and reg. We both made putts galore. It was one of the funner rounds that I've played, and the first time not playing in 2 weeks. Loved where my tempo was at. So, was happy. And to be fair, smartest thing Justin Rose ever did was whether the airlines knew it, the good Lord knew it, or whatever. But so anybody that doesn't know, Neal and I were supposed to defend our championships doing a two-man scramble against Justin Rose and Danny DeKaiser. Unfortunately, they could not make it because of travel arrangements and stuff.
And it was the best thing that ever happened to them in their life because they had no shot. No shot.
No shot at all. But more important things that we, the championships are nice, and that's what we do more secondhand. But what about the conversation we had on the golf course? We got to get into this.
We do, because I think it's a very divisive, very hot take. And look, I think there are a couple camps with it, right? And our good friend that we met out on the golf course, Adriana, brought this up to our attention. She had a very bold statement as we were waiting on the tee box at one of the holes. We had just come through, the ninth hole, the turn, Spenny. Mm-hmm. You know it.
Oh, yeah.
You know it. The hot dog at the turn.
The glizzy.
The glizzy.
At the turn.
The pork missile. Mm-hmm. Whatever you want to call it. Adriana said, you want to take? And she just came from the top rope with it. She said, the hot dog at the turn on the golf course is better than the hot dog at the baseball game.
Ding, dong, ding. Agreed.
That's aggressive.
I agree.
You think it's aggressive?
It's aggressive. I agree with it.
Oh, you agree?
But it is that's divisive, D-Mac, especially in today's day and times.
You know what? I am 100,000,000%. That glizzy at certain golf courses could be the best thing that I eat all week.
Yes.
And the fact is that I don't know about anybody else, but if the front nine's not going too well, the glizzy power, you put that pork missile down your throat, and next thing you know, there's birdies.
It's true.
Corey Berry, and right away, reaction to the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Corey, and by the way, subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jump in there, get your thoughts out there. We do have a big-time show lined up for you. Our guy, Damontre Moore, will join us again, former NFL player, current NFL free agent, played for Dan Campbell down in Miami. So we'll talk about the Detroit Lions with him. But yeah, it's one of those things where Corey Berry in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread says, unless you put ketchup on it. Maybe the only other more divisive hot dog topic.
Well, don't you feel like that the golf course hot dog, the grill or grill whoever, male, female, doesn't matter, takes a little bit more pride in that hot dog than
it's a little
at
more
the
personal
ballpark.
touch.
It's personal. It's got even to the fact. I mean, how many times do you get a hot dog at a ballpark that's got a sear mark in it? Not very much.
Never. Yeah.
Now, I'm not a ketchup on a hot dog guy, but I know people that are. It's not as repulsive to me.
Yeah.
As other things.
See, I'm a ketchup guy, but I'm in as you guys saw yesterday.
Yeah, you guys
the
got
relish,
it wrong.
The onions, the mustard, the ketchup. I'll put some jalapenos on there if that's in play. I mean, I get into it.
Anybody who knows you, though, knows that you're a big fan of the Chicago dog.
Yes,
and if anybody,
absolutely.
That's like a salad on a hot dog.
Yeah, and Spenmo, this is where I go to you and your hot dog expertise, your glizzy, your glizzy knowledge, your vast of glizzy knowledge.
Yes.
The Chicago dog at the ballpark, I enjoy greatly.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy the pickle on there, the poppy seed bun, all of it.
Oh, yeah. Chicago dog's great. Seattle dog's really good, too.
What's that one?
It's got cream cheese, a bunch of different peppers on it, and celery salt on top.
Okay.
It's really good.
You're the goat.
It's really good.
You're the glizzy goat.
Yeah.
I'm not one to question you.
Yeah, I like a Seattle dog. It's Chicago dog is fantastic too, though.
Okay, and the stadium peppers, all that stuff. Uncle Neal's soft feet. She's right. So Andriana, I thought it would be divisive, and it's just because it's blasphemous. Now there's a lot of love for the Home Depot hot dog out there in the chat.
And they put him back in.
They did.
They did put him back in, which was huge because that was yes, I agree. I mean, how many? I would say if I go to a Home Depot 4 times a month, I'm eating 3 hot dogs. You can't not stop by, especially if there's a line.
Yeah.
Right? And you're, hold on, honey. You want a dog? Whatever. You really want a glizzy, right?
I know we got this light fixture here. We don't worry. We're going to put it on when we get back. I want to get this glizzy real quick. And it's funny because Chuck Brewer says, Neal, we saw your hot dog from yesterday. Yours was just loaded. Yeah, and that's how I operate with it. And I don't do Spenmo. How often are you a hot dog at home guy?
No, not really.
See, I'm not either. Like the golf course and the Chicago dog at the ball game.
Yeah,
those are the only times I'll eat a hot dog, except on 4th of July. I'll have one because
how about here?
I'm American. Love it or leave it.
Would you do this one, Councilman Colosi out in San Diego and SoCal? We have tiny carts selling Tijuana dogs wrapped in bacon and some cream. So that would be friggin'.
That sounds pretty
I'd
good.
stop the side of the road for one of those.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Spenmo got that look on his face when he heard
he
that
did.
one.
I survived on hot dogs in East Lansing. Hot dogs, cereal, and ramen, but I don't really eat them at home anymore.
Okay, gotcha. No, but it was just something. Daniel Justice says ketchup and onions is my go-to. Stephen David says Sam eats glizzy with no hands and no buns. Everyone's saying say it, Flannel, say it. So why don't you say it? Where are you at with the hot dog?
I'm kind of just a ketchup and mustard kind of guy. I would say though that the hot dog at the ballpark is the superior hot dog. But it's all right. I'm not gonna.
You don't golf though.
I don't golf.
See, there you go. But you knew I would have put all the money in the world on it.
Yeah.
That he was a ballpark guy.
Yeah.
They're like great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
No.
They are. Seriously.
Thank you. And the only reason I like the Chicago dog is because it's so dressed up with everything else. You kind of lose the glizzy in the middle of it all.
And the only thing at the ballpark is just slap mustard on it.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like even back in the day, the hot dog dude singing or whatever that, and they bring the hot dog, slide him down the roll.
That's what it's all
about. Of
about.
course, Sam, you didn't disappoint in that one.
Thank you.
Big Play Jay says, or the Foreman grill if you want to be lazy. So the Foreman grill is in play. Say it, Flannel.
What do they want you to say?
I know what they want them to say.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Say the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl.
I'm not going to say that.
Did you come out and say that Jets are going to win the Super Bowl?
No, I did not.
You think Aaron Rodgers is going to beat Patrick Mahomes?
Nope. That's where I have it stopped. That's where I've always had it stopped. Even with the recent signing of Dalvin Cook, I think they will lose at Arrowhead in the AFC Championship game, and I'm sticking to it.
But you're going to ride Aaron Rodgers until the championship game?
Yes, I am.
Okay, fair enough. I respect you for that.
So, yeah, say it, Flannel.
No, I'm not going to say something that I don't believe. I never get on this mic and say something that I don't believe.
All right, that's a good
and that's
baseline.
Scary because some of the things you say that you believe.
They have to be for shtick.
Oh, my God.
It has to be for shtick. Detroit Dabber 313, serve the curve. That billboard always makes me laugh when I drive by it. I don't know why it does. I mean, I know why it does, but you know what I'm saying. Kyle Stark says, look at the dang chat, Neal. I know I am. People were into it this morning. Nick L, American or Lafayette, Neal, whichever line is shorter.
Lafayette.
If it's the same, yeah. If it's the same, I'm Lafayette.
Which one had the
The Rats?
Yeah.
Lafayette. That's how you know it's better.
Because the Rats eat there?
They use the Vidalia onions. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. So I'm in there.
They both use Nationals chili.
That is true, and we have that from a man that was on the corporate insider.
Yep.
No, but we do a lot of narratives out there about hot dogs, a lot of narrative out there about Jameson Williams. So obviously we were out yesterday. We didn't give our reaction to the preseason game, so we'll revisit that. I'm not going to go play-by-play in depth or anything like that. The drop heard around the world. We'll have to discuss it when we come back. And as we said, Damontre Moore will be a guest coming up. That's about 11:28-ish, 11:30-ish here. So Damontre will give us a good Dan Campbell story from his time with them at the Dolphins. Last time he was on, he talking about Campbell. We had a banger on all the socials. So we bring Damontre back, and he'll be with us coming up in a couple of minutes. If you got a question for him, too, fire it away in the chat.
That's one of the things yesterday, which was also nice, obviously, collecting the 10 pounds of gold. But we got a chance to, you and I got a chance to, spend some, time on the golf course together and stuff like this. And one of the things that I came away with is that I think that, what we are going to try to provide on Big Energy is if we do have some guests, who's got some stories, who knows this team, who knows this coaching staff and stuff like this, because that's where what the culture is all about. So no better place than to either former players or former coaches and stuff like this. So look forward to talking to Damontre.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get him in there. Danny G says the Costco dog goes hard as well. I have never had one.
No, you know what? I haven't. But the price, isn't the price like never changes? In like $1.50 for a dog and a Coke or something.
Costco dog is definitely top tier.
You had it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Goes hard in the paint.
Oh yeah. Costco dog is top tier.
How often do you eat a hot dog, Flannel?
Say it. Probably kind of like you guys. Never at home. If I'm at a game, if I'm at Home Depot or something like that, it's never something that I just think at home right now to just make for dinner. Like Spenny, back in my days when I was single or in college or more poor, I would, but
more
poor, yes. Nowadays though, I mean, probably the same amount of poor, but I have a wife who has a pretty good salary, so that's splitting hairs, tomato.
Yeah. But yeah, lots of love for the Costco dog, the Home Depot dog as well. So all of it is out there. It's just, I thought it was an aggressive take. I thought that the people would say it was aggressive. Of course, Sam Flannel said it was too aggressive for him. I'm surprised though, the level of people that say it is better on the golf course.
Yep.
Just so we can give Andrea to get back to it.
Where's the better glizzy?
Do you think it's less than 10% or 20% that will go with the ballpark? Do you think Sam might be the only one? Like, it'd be nice if you guys were 100% honest.
Yeah, because that always happens.
Well, I'm never 100% honest. I always pick Spenny. Spenny always gets the third choice, right?
Well, you know what it is, too. Like the ballpark glizzy in the poll, its chances are hurt because Sam Flannel came out and publicly endorsed it.
It's in the lead right now, though, the ballpark.
And
dude,
here comes the golf
44
course glizzy.
votes.
Yeah.
Wish you guys hit the like button like that.
Yeah, you can do that, too.
Yeah, I mean, do both.
It's an easy click. Go ahead and just click the like button.
Double.
And just click the like button as well. John Effing Lord, La Puma is a bomb place for glizzies.
Yeah.
Rochester, stand up. That is true. That is true.
That's a stalwart. That's like the place in Chicago you were saying that Campy makes you go all the time.
That is true. Yeah. So we've been through there for sure. There is no doubt. There is no doubt about that. There's another must-stop place. If you're into a different realm, there's another must-stop place you should roll by.
I know that I'll probably head by there this afternoon, and maybe you'll see you there. Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products. With Dispo Dispensary, indulge in the finest selection of cannabis curated with care. With over 12 locations, yes, 12, including their new location that is now open in Whitmore Lake, Dispo is never far away. Visit disposhops.com today and unlock a world of endless possibilities in the realm of cannabis. That is disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
How would you like to win a $100K Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps.
Yes.
It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the $100K Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best version of themselves. drinkcintron.com/Vegas is where you can go to sign up for your chance to win.
We're off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty back from the golf course where they defended that title. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. So as we said, we were away yesterday. Didn't get our chance to kind of speak our piece on the Lions game from Friday, so humor us for a segment here. Just some stuff that I want to get out there. And D-Mac, I think this discussion really, for whatever reason, it all goes back to this. The drop heard round the world and everything that went on around it, the questions that have arisen from it, and really you have to sit there and ask yourself, after this drop, you have to wonder, does he have what it takes to be a good player in the NFL? Can he bounce back from this drop? Is there a way that the Lions can trust him in this offense for such a big play to have him drop the ball like that? We have to ask ourselves, D-Mac, is Sam Laporta the guy? Is Sam Laporta the guy?
Are you coming after my guy?
Is he everything that we thought he could be? He dropped a pass on 4th down that changed the possession, that led to points. It's the biggest takeaway from this game because we just don't know. Does he need to put in more work on the jugs machine? Does he need to perhaps have a better rapport with Nate Sudfeld and everybody around him? Is he the answer, D-Mac? Premium draft capital was invested in him. Is he the answer for the Detroit Lions?
Really, you're a piece of work. You're going to go after my guy for that. You know what?
It's polarizing, D-Mac. I was told.
His first professional game. Here's the one thing, whether you're talking about, and obviously you're being facetious, but I'm going to talk about the Laporta drop in the same breath because it's the same thing as Jameson Williams dropping those balls. It's the greatest. This is what you want, right? You don't want these guys coming out and everything being hunky-dory and catching because why? It's the maturity of having to learn. So now hopefully it's a refocus, right? Obviously the Jameson, what I don't understand at all.
The vitriol. And look, let's,
yeah,
you know what?
That sounds exactly like the word to use. I don't know what it means. I'm gonna have to look it up. But yes, the vitriol. The vitriol.
We need the dictionary. Who's on dictionary? Who's on dictionary duty?
I got it.
Is it usually D-Mac or
it's normally D-Mac.
It's normally D. All right, D-Mac will look it up right now and get back to us.
Here's the whole thing with the vitr. You're right. It is, guys. The kid was out all last year. Like it's you got something special, and for both of them, why can't you use it as the first game and it's one drop pass? Now, here's the thing: how I was raised, right? Scotty Bowman, you're allowed to make the mistake once. Can't make the same mistake over again. This is great that it happened in the first game because boom, what do you think practice is now? And everything is more of the focus. Remember the drop, whatever, like this in the back of the mind to get better. So that doesn't happen when it matters, right? So for both of them, it's probably the...
What do you mean when it matters, T-Mac? This was the biggest situation in the history of Lions football in the last 30 years. He's a bust now because he dropped that ball.
But I don't get it.
He's a bust.
I don't get it. That's I don't get it either. I understand the frustration as a kid, is got suspended and we haven't seen him. We did a first round pick, but we drafted him injured. We knew this was going to take time.
No, we took Laporta in the second round. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I don't get it. Let just watch. And do you not? It's the same. I'll have the same argument. It's coming around because it's being earned. Same argument as trust the wiser plan. It's look at the guys at the top. Look at this team. We're going to talk to Damontre Moore, who's played for Dan Campbell. This is all part of it. Look at what they've added. The biggest takeaway to all this Jameson Williams things, when we said about signing Teddy Bridgewater, I thought it was, okay, we're going to develop Hendon Hooker and stuff like this. No, comes out in the press conference, says, I'm going to be here because of this kid. And to make him better and hold him accountable. And I'm going to do things, I'm paraphrasing, that he's not going to like. Right? They know how special this kid is, and they're trying to put him in the right situation. What did you take out of yesterday? And, God bless Gabby for sitting there, and Woodward Sports' newest reporter, Amar Ross St. Brown, interviewing Jameson Williams, right? They're all invested in this kid. So you better be all invested in this kid, because they're not throwing him away. I mean, be frustrated. We're all frustrated when guys drop passes, guys miss tackles and stuff like this. It's part of the growing, like, give this kid an opportunity. And I think the frustration, Neal, is just because he hasn't helped himself out in the views of the perception of the vitriol people, that he's supposed to not only catch everything, but be this professional. He's still a kid. He needs to grow up. I said to you earlier, right? He's never had to learn how to be a professional, let alone when you're that's talented and always the best. You get away with things. Now you're in a man's league where it doesn't matter, and you got to play a role. This isn't your team. You're not even at Alabama with Nick Saban and stuff like that. You got to think that the best players get treated a little bit differently or a little bit above. That's just the way it is. Now he's got to go to work, but he's got to learn how to go to work. You have to learn. And so it's around the guys in that locker room, around him. So let's just sit back and watch. Now, if he drops another one, it start to become a habit, then we can get upset. But right now, it's way too early.
So you're not calling him a bust? You don't want him out of town. I almost got you right there. I almost got you. You're a little bit.
Vitriol. Cruel and bitter criticism. Her mother's sudden gush of fury and vitriol. There it is. D-Max, word of the day.
Burn in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I've been waiting 4 days for this because bozos like to point out we traded up for JMO, but all homes traded away to move up was a fifth. I ran the numbers. Yeah, Burn, it was a couple of pick swaps. I don't even care. They did use the number 12 overall pick in the draft on him, but I understand that. Again, I don't understand it. Alex Haggerty says, I got to admit, that was a wrestling level swerve right there. Thank you. I do enjoy doing that part of the craft. Guys, look, I go back into this.
Yes,
go ahead, D-Max.
Because Brandon Cat Williams isn't a bust, but he's clearly immature. Stop. Right? Not where he should be for a second-year pro. But is he a second-year pro? He's a first-year pro because he didn't play till the end of last year from being hurt and stuff like that. He got in. I still think he's red-shirted. Right? He's still in that rookie season until he gets back out there. So, yes, I agree. Immature, but we all were.
Tony D, the other station in town sucks worse than JMO's drops. And I'll say this, guys. there seems to be a narrative being pushed. And remember, guys, I can play this game too, right? Oh, how you going to replace? He's got one catch. He's got one catch in his NFL career. Dude's been targeted 16 times now in NFL games, including preseason. He's gotten in the end zone 3 times in 16 targets. What, Flannel? What do you say it, Flannel? You're shaking your head. Say it. You know what? Cut the shit, Flannel. Let's do it now. Let's get into it. Then.
What?
Let's get into it. Tell me. You're shaking your head. Why?
Well, I mean, you said something that was factually incorrect.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yes, it was factually incorrect. Yes.
What part?
He's had 1 touchdown his entire career. That's factual. Plays get called back because of penalties all the time. You can't just count them to further your narrative. I'm not saying that he's a bust or anything, but to say that preseason game wasn't a little overwhelming, I think is being a little flippant. That's all. And if he makes that catch, we're not saying anything about it, but he didn't. He dropped that ball. It was right in his hands. And I don't want to hear the Nate Sudfeld excuse because that was probably the best throw he's made in his life, and J-Mo just dropped it.
Okay. Did you do a segment on Laporta?
I mean, I never called for Laporta to be in the Hall of Fame or anything. Ask Lucas about that one. Yeah, Sam Laporta had an underwhelming first game, too. He was the only rookie out of the ones drafted in the first 2 rounds that I think had a subpar game. I gave him actually a D grade for that game on the Morning Woodward show.
And
1
by
target,
the way,
1
too,
drop.
People just kind of gloss over the 2-point conversion grab. Nobody brought that up, right? Looked pretty skillful, didn't it? I mean, looked like a highly skilled play, did it not?
I mean, it was nice. It might prove that he might get some red zone targets when it's actually a drive and not a 2-point conversion. But I still think
But still, where is the 2-point conversion located, Flannel?
It's located in the red zone.
In the end zone.
In the end zone, yes, in the end zone.
It's located in the end zone. Again, when you go back to this, he makes plays even through the drops. Like I love that the floor is that he either gets into the end zone or gets marked down short of the end zone when he got in the end zone, averages 41 yards a carry. Yes, on 1 carry. He's made plays. Like, he's made big plays in football games. Did he drop the ball? Yes. Dude's got 5 NFL games. And why all of a sudden has this narrative flipped, by the way, where he gave you nothing his first year? You knew that when you took him, and everybody was still hype about it. You people, everybody did. Flannel, like, come on, man. Why has this changed?
Okay, well, the suspension had a lot to do with that, and that's fair. We didn't anticipate that coming in, but also, and I will die on this hill. I'm not saying this is the end all be all, but if you would have told me after that Minnesota Vikings touchdown, which he had, and everyone was on cloud 9 that it would be his last catch of the season, I think you guys would have said that was disappointing. But retrospectively, it's just further proof that he's a 100% no doubt superstar. I think it's a little too soon.
I would say that the groundwork is there because what is the thing in the NFL? What determines the NFL games?
I mean, big plays.
Has he shown that?
Yes.
Then what the are we talking about here?
I mean, I cannot wait until the Lions go on the road week 1 to Arrowhead and Jameson Williams finally gets, oh, that's right, he can't. Damn, man.
Okay.
I almost forgot.
Okay, and that's why I'm glad D-Mac's here. Because D-Mac and I had this conversation yesterday. I was glad we got the opportunity to get out there and play and like sit and just talk about time we wouldn't have got normally together. D-Mac, I don't ask you to do this often, but I want you to pull the curtain back for the Sam Flannels and the narrative, bless you, the narrative-driven people around there right now. In that locker room, does it suck, D-Mac? Yeah, it sucks. But do they care? And when I say do they care, in this grand scheme of things, it all comes back to this. What are you going to do when you're out there playing? That's all you give a shit about, right, D-Mac?
Absolutely.
That's all you care about. That's all that locker room cares about.
Right. And it's having that belief in each other and guys going out for that. Like, here's the one thing with the immaturity. And I thought this was great because I initially, when I watched this, and I don't know if any of you did, but Burgosaurus, and welcome Burgosaurus because I haven't seen you here before, but J-Mo didn't know he was going to throw that ball that good. It was more unexpected. So
I'm not going to go that far.
What I'm saying, to the fact of what the immaturity is you got to expect everything's going to get through. That's what, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, all the Devontae Adams, they expect that ball every time. So it's something that, yes, they care. They care about him. This is their guy. They know how special he is, Neal. I've said it before. That's why they insulated around him and bring guys in around him. I mentioned too to you, right? And I look forward to talking to Damontre, but we can touch on this a little bit later. What I look at what they're doing with Jameson Williams is sort of along the same lines, not exactly the same, with what was done with Sergei Fedorov. And it was more to make him comfortable. Like when we would say like Doug Brown, and it wasn't his shadow. It's the fact that, the fact that he was there to make him comfortable no matter what he did. They were good friends and stuff like this, and to get along. You look at Justin Rogers' report, and Teddy Bridgewater says he's looking forward to pushing Jameson Williams in ways he hasn't been pushed before. Present first media session with the new backup quarterback just uses self-confidence and leadership. That's the leadership to leave this team better and help these players develop. They're all in. So why aren't we all in? Are we seriously having this conversation
Again,
after the first pregame?
Yes, we are. WoodwardSports.com chat poll real quick. Better Glizzy ballpark, 56% of the vote. They overcome Sam Flannel's backing, and still the ballpark wins. Real quick, Chuck Brewer, Neal. Sam harped on the drop for 30 minutes yesterday and didn't think the 2-point catch meant anything. No credit. I'm going to ask Damontre Moore about this when we come back. This whole preseason narrative, I'm gonna ask about it, and I'm gonna ask him when we come back to it. So, D-Mac, got to tell him about Guardian, right?
Absolutely. Guardian, you need that Guardian in that booth today, that's for sure. Guardian Alarm. Let them off you. Customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians who take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian today. The number, 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as is needed. But I need you to call the number, 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and people. Yes, real people have been proven to care. All this blasphemy, everything else, Guardian Alarm doesn't care. They're still protecting Sam Flannel's flannel. How many straight days now with Sam Flannel?
333.
Wow, that's a lot of Chris Drapers in there. 333, actually 333 Erie North was my house I grew up in. So 333, Guardian Alarm, been protecting Sam Flannel. I don't know why, but that's what they do, no matter if it's business or personal. So if you need that protection, please call Guardian today. The number, 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of the chat. Lucas Klotz and his Levi Onzarike slander for his preseason game. He played well, just admit it.
Stay out of the chat, Sam Flannel, when we're talking about Jamison Williams. You're crazy, bro.
Absolutely.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Good, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rackster here with you, just chopping it up about Detroit Lions preseason. The drop heard around the world, and look, Sam Laporta will get better, guys. I promise you. I promise you he will. Just playing, obviously, but it has been a big topic of discussion. Low key, what about the crowd, D-Mac? You were there?
I mean, it was awesome.
Did you stay till the end?
No, I stayed halfway through the fourth.
Halfway through the fourth? Okay.
I have a traffic thing. But I think Dan Campbell touched on it when he opened up his press conference, saying the Giants had to go silent count in an exhibition game. I mean, people were yoked, stoked. Spenny, you guys were there, front row, chirping the Giants guys and everything. You and Easy for Easy's birthday and stuff. Like, it was
more
awesome.
On that later, by the way. In the 12 o'clock hour, I'll have to get the Easy 29th birthday
there was festivities. Absolutely. It was awesome.
All right. We'll pick that up coming up in a couple of minutes. But right now, our guy is back. That's right. We're talking to Damontre Moore, longtime NFL veteran, Texas A&M product, played for Dan Campbell during his year that he played in the NFL for the Miami Dolphins. He is our guy. Damontre, first off, man, appreciate you jumping back on with us. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. Appreciate y'all for having me back. Long time no see. How y'all doing?
I'm doing well, bro.
Absolutely, man. But Damontre, I mean, there are a couple of things that I want to get to with you. And number one is this, man. You're a longtime NFL veteran. You went through a lot of preseasons. I've noticed that this has become almost like a political type narrative in that when fans have their guy that they like, if he play or if they don't like, if they play well, it's, he looks great, everything is awesome. If they don't play well, he's a bust. We don't know what's going on. If it's a guy they don't like and he plays well, they say, yeah, well, it was against backups. For the record, you've been through this before, man. Preseason NFL football. These guys are still pros out there, right? I mean, break that down. A rookie is not a bust, and anytime somebody does well, it's not because it's against second-string guys, right? Break down the preseason for me.
First and foremost, everything is opinion-based. You can come up with these narratives and paint whatever narrative you want to. Everybody's a pro. We put our pants on one leg at a time. We all got here, and we're capable of being here to line up. So it's an honor to even be out on that field. You can't be so fast to label guys as a bust and, put these narratives on players. Like, give them time to develop. You're a rookie coming in. Some people have success right away, and some people are like wine. They get better with time, but it's a gradual thing. It's a slow pace. Like, you have a long season, and it's not about who's playing their best football right now. It's who's playing their best football later on at the end of the season, later in the season leading into the playoffs, getting to the Super Bowl. So give people the time to develop. Every starter wasn't a starter when they first jumped in. Of course, unless you're a first-round draft pick, people then work their butts to get to where they're at. At one point in time, Richard Sherman wasn't the top guy and then became the guy. Like, Seattle is a fine example of people starting out late and then going on to be superstars. Detroit, same with those players. You have guys like Ndamukong and Suh that comes in day off back, killing, and then you have other guys that it take time to get into your mold. So you can't just be so quick to just throw these labels out there.
Damontre, thanks for joining us, but always good to catch up to you. More on that, being at training camp, right? So take us through after, and you remember, and obviously it changed, but as a rookie or as a second-year guy trying to establish yourself after the first exhibition game. So, right, we're in between game 1 and 2 here in Detroit and stuff like this. What are some of the conversations the coaches and everybody's having, right? We're talking about our guys, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta dropping balls, maybe not. Some guys, maybe miss some tackles or want to get better. What's the conversation coming out of training camp in week 2 for especially the young guys, because confidence has to be a big thing?
Confidence is a big thing in everything that you do, but coming out of week 2, your coach is coming there and saying, all right, guys, it's time to relax. You done got your first NFL game up under your belt. Now let's get back to the basics. Let's get away from the glitz and glamour. Like, let's go in here and examine the film. What were you bad at? What can you be better at? How can you get better and be more prepared? And now that you don't have the bright lights, you know what's going to happen. You get past the excitement of giving tickets to whoever's coming to see you and stuff like that. Now it's back to the meat and the bones and trying to make this team. And you should be more confident. You should you should be a little more sound in your scheme, and the butterfly should be out, and you should be coming in firing with better bullets and constantly improving. And if you're not improving, then you won't be there.
Damontre Moore, our guest here on Big D Energy. Good to have Damontre back on again. Was a third-round draft pick out of Texas A&M. So, Damontre, look, obviously here in Detroit, Dan Campbell, Lions Mania, people betting all their money on the Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl. I mean, like, it's going crazy, Damontre. And I want to ask you this because, as we talked about earlier and you talked about in the past, you played for Dan Campbell. That year he was the interim coach down in Miami. I know you're not in the locker room. I understand that, so I'm not putting you on the spot from that perspective. But what you know of the man, why is it working like this in Detroit with Dan Campbell? Why is it working here?
Man, the way that it's working is simple. Detroit is Dan Campbell, and Dan Campbell is Detroit. When I say this man he exemplifies everything that city does, from the gritness, the toughness, getting it out the mud, and building it on your bare back. That is Dan Campbell, from being a former player, being out there in those trenches, going to war, and having that excitement, to being a coach now, seeing it behind the coach's view, knowing how it is something so simple as having the stress of going through training camp and being so tight and up-knit of, hey, are you going to make the team or are you not? He's going to find a way to relate to the player, but also still coach him to get better and be the best player that they could be, but also appeal to the person as the player, but not only as the player, but as the person. I told you last time I was here that Dan Campbell came and said, hey, I don't care what was said about you. I'm not oblivious. I know what was said because I'm here, but also I want you to build your own person. And just like he builds his own narrative and coaching perspective, it goes on and on. And when I say I get chills and goosebumps thinking about it again, because he is made for this city and it's working. He is building the foundation. The foundation has been laid, and now he's just going to keep continuing to build and get better and biting ankles.
Damontre, so he's got the juice, right? But he's got the juice, right?
He definitely does. The juice is, I wouldn't even say juice, because when you think of juice, you can drink juice. I say he got sauce. Think about barbecue sauce, man. I'm telling you. How long have you left some barbecue sauce in that refrigerator, but you come back and get some Sweet Baby Ray's and it's still there and it tastes just as good? It's something that's internal. It's solid. It's foundation. It's not foaming. It's there. And that's
Preach, it's thick, Benny. It's thick, baby. That's what it is. No.
He's thick and he's here to stay.
That's why MCDC, Motor City Dan Campbell, is so apropos, and you nailed it. You nailed it there. And the one thing, Damontre, is that I am hearing you as a former athlete and speaking athlete speak. What you're saying is he's genuine, and when he says it, he means it. He's not coach speaking. He's not talking behind the back. It's the fact that he's a man, right? And he treats everybody like men until it's time not to, right? Would that be fair to say?
And you hit the nail right on the hammer with it. He treats people like men because he's a man, and he's going to see you and approach you as a man. But also as a man, he was a player, and he still is a player. You see him out there doing the up, downs, and jump starts at the beginning of practice. Like, he's there with you, so he knows what he's going through with you. And for him to be that genuine, that focused, and he's a see ball, get ball type of coach. Like, I tell you what to do, I tell you how to do it, and if you do this, it's going to ride and it's going to fly, and we're going to let the chips fall wherever they fall, but just know I'm right there with you so I can fall with you, baby. We either fall into success or we fall into failure together, but just know your captain is right here with you, and if your captain's right there with you as a player, I'm talking about you ready to go into that wall and lights out.
All right, Damontre, you got the people all worked up in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread right now.
Bothered, buddy. They're bricked up, stoked, not scared.
I'm over here having flashbacks over here thinking about it.
Well, good. That's good, because I want a Dan Campbell story, Damontre. Give me one Dan Campbell story from your time, maybe when you were down in Miami.
I would say my favorite Dan Campbell story is last game of the season. I don't know if I mentioned it. I know I mentioned how everybody was cheering for him last time I was here, but going a little more in depth, the day before, leading into that game, he said, I don't know what's going to happen. He knew that this is a potential interview and setting him up for the future, but he wasn't even putting that pressure on himself. He came in there and said, hey, we're going against the Patriots. And when we go against the Patriots, we're going against Brady, the GOAT. I'm talking about Thomas Patrick Edward Brady. We in there going against that guy. And he said, for you right now, this is an audition. Just like it's an audition for me, it's an audition for you to go out there and say that you're not going to lay down and you're going to quit. Let's go in somebody's season. Let's go make something a little bit more difficult and challenging for somebody else. Just like they doing this for us, we're going to do this for them. I'm going to war with you guys. And when I tell you, it was like a scene out of 300. You see Dan Campbell up there, big swole guy, and he's giving this powerful embodied speech. Everybody was like, you know what? We come out here, we play the Patriots. It's smash mouth football. And when I tell you, we did everything he said, won that game, and had the same excitement. And he said, hey, I want to tell you guys, y'all just killed y'all interview. Y'all killed it, and I don't know what's going to happen after there, but I just know that y'all laid it out there, and we were so excited that everybody erupted, talking about Dan Campbell this, throwing water in the locker room. When the owner comes in there talking about the interview's about to come back up, like, it's going to be a tough process, but we know who we want. Everybody's yelling Dan Campbell at this guy, and like, this is the owner now. When the owner talks, nobody talks, and you're sitting here chanting this, that lets you know that your leader is right here, and he's just like the guy from 300. They do whatever I say. And so it was amazing. And I can't imagine with the staff that he's built. I played with Kevin Shepard. For him to see him have that passion on the sideline, he's built that in there. And, man, when I tell you, I can only imagine it, like, now that he's at the helm, what it's really like to be in Detroit in a grimy city like that, and it's ready to work. He probably got some great things going over there. But that's probably like my best story about him.
That is so awesome, dude. I'm gonna take this before we let you go a little bit sideways, because this is a question for Spenny and me, because we follow you at Timor 94. Noticed you blowing guys away Call of Duty. What's your favorite Call of Duty version? Which game? Do you have a favorite?
I would probably say Modern Warfare 2 is my favorite.
Yeah, that's what Spenny and I said.
We go. Me and my crew. I got a couple coaches that play in the league that are down, but we're on every Call of Duty. But Modern Warfare 2, I probably say, was the one where we got the most active, and it was just it's timeless. Like, yeah. But we're gonna see what this new one hitting for. It's almost that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I have to step in. Spenny, where are you at with it?
Modern Warfare 2 for sure. Yeah, it's the GOAT.
All day.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, Damontre, I appreciate you pulling up on us, man, for sure.
Brother.
Appreciate you, Damontre. We'll get you back. Absolutely.
I can't wait, man.
This man's got people fired up, Spenny.
Oh, yeah. Dude, as he should, man. I'm fired up.
Yeah.
If you're not bricked and stoked already, game's not till Saturday, second exhibition game. Let's go, baby. Come on.
Man, I'm telling you, y'all got some young cats over there doing it right now. That crazy catch from the receiver that he hit the little
Jamison Williams?
The one he caught?
Jamison Williams. Thank you. Man, that catch was so spectacular that it had me lost the word. I couldn't even say his name right now. It was like, but I'm ready to see what he does, man. Like, this is about to be a crazy week. Like, I don't think Detroit knows, like, the gym that they have right there. Like, that diamond has been built right there. And so, man, I'm watching y'all's Instagram story every day. I'm watching Kevin Shepard's every day. That's my dog. We talk at least once a month. And the energy and excitement around that building. They're one of my dark horses this year.
There you go. All right, Damontre, appreciate you, brother. We'll catch up again.
Thanks, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, there he is, everybody. Damontre Moore, longtime NFL vet. You know, just a guy that played in the league talking about that, the catch was special. Even if Sam Flannel wants to dismiss it, guys that played in the league, they liked it.
I'm sure when we come back, Sam will cut down, what's he know? He only played in the league.
Yeah, for 8 years or whatever it was. He probably will. Strawberry Fest. I know we're late for the break, but hey, Strawberry Fest is worth the wait. But you better not wait too much longer, because it's about to go down. That's right. Strawberry Fest at Big Boy. Strawberry hotcakes, red velvet waffle for breakfast, strawberry bacon chicken wrap, maybe the summer splash salad for lunch. Get dessert with every meal. Why not? The strawberry pie, the OG of the Strawberry Fest. Deep fried vanilla Oreos or strawberry hot fudge cake. Get to your local Big Boy today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
What's up, guys? Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts. Carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes regions with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equip Co., your power equipment playground.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. The chat is electric over our guy Damontre Moore, as it always. There's lots of talk about barbecue sauce in there as well, and it
Barbecue
is.
sauce is sicker than blood, man. That's even like more in.
Yeah.
Oh.
GW the Kid, exactly. You never throw away barbecue sauce. Good point. It just seasons.
Like, does barbecue sauce ever spoil?
I don't know.
I doubt it.
Okay.
I doubt it. Just to let you behind the curtain a little bit, Damontre and Spenmo, during the last break, were geeking out about Call of Duty.
Yeah, he was showing me the new anime posters he added in the back too.
Oh my God!
Yeah, oh yeah.
Did you just become best friends?
I think you did.
He's got some fire posters. D-Mac, you would like the one he showed me. It's like a wood, like ash art. So It's like a piece of wood with ash, and it's Chewbacca with a sombrero on and a stogie in his mouth. Yeah, it's pretty fire.
I'll have to DM him. Show me the pitch.
No, absolutely though. But yeah, it was entertainment as always. Make sure you pay attention to all the Woodward Sports social outlets as well. I'm sure we'll have a couple clips of Damontre Moore's interview today. Jan says yes, barbecue can spoil.
Something about the vinegar in it?
Probably.
That's what Peaceful Tim said.
Tell you what, best barbecue sauce you'll find, Shack sauce. Chicken Shack barbecue sauce.
It's pretty good.
I used to make that shit by the gallons. I never get sick of it. I got sick of the coleslaw, I got sick of the chicken, got sick of the mashed potatoes, or the roasted potatoes. Never got sick of the barbecue sauce.
Master Blaster says, "Isn't Neal an anime guy?" No, Neal is not a quote anime guy. I'll give you the disclaimer. Do whatever you want.
That's like saying Sam's got good takes.
Yeah, do whatever you. If you're into it, spend cool, man. Live your best life.
I'm a
it
big
makes you smile. Yeah,
I'm a big anime
look at the
guy.
look on your face.
Yeah, I'm a big anime guy.
You'd be a very bad poker player.
Gear 5 this weekend. It was fire.
Look, that look on his. I live for that look on his face.
I'm a big anime guy, man.
I live for, and that's why I'm happy that you're an anime guy, and that's why I'm happy anime exists, because it gives you that look on your face, and you're passionate about it. I love that.
I'm reading 35 different Korean mangas all at once right now, and like 8 or 9 regular mangas.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And manga is a Japanese
Bible?
comic.
Anime Bible or something?
Yeah, pretty much. It's where it comes from.
You read Japanese?
Well, it's not in Japanese. But the Korean ones are good too.
You read Korean too?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Ryan Newmy, Spenny's power level is over 9,000. I don't know what that means, but I bet it is.
It's from Dragon Ball Z.
Get it out. Hey, guys, we got 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes left in the segment because the interview went long. Whatever anime stuff you got, fire it away in the chat.
What are the best animes?
I want to show you guys the tattoo. My favorite animes are One Piece, Cowboy Bebop.
I like that and live action.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
Cowboy Bebop's up there. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is up there. Hunter x Hunter is very good. Obviously Naruto. Bleach is one of my favorite. The new season of Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War. Part 2 is coming back out. And I read all of these too. Like I've read.
So it's like The Godfather. You read the book and celebrate the movie.
Yeah, I read when I was in East Lansing. I read 600 chapters of One Piece in 3 months.
Sure, you're not naming bands on the next Warped Tour or something like that? I mean,
GW the Kid. I'm curious to get Spenmo's reaction to this. GW the Kid. Neal needs to watch The Bear. That's more of Neal's style. It's a great effing show.
Yeah,
Your
The
thoughts?
Bear is good. You'd like The Bear.
Why would I like it?
It's it's the cooking show. It's about a chef in Chicago, and he's like redoing this whole.
Wait, that's not anime.
No, it's not anime.
Oh.
But here, I want to show you guys the tattoo I'm getting on my birthday.
Okay, I can't wait to see this, man. Goku getting a lot of run. Cowboy Bebop.
I love Cowboy Bebop. So Neal, were you a cartoons guy at all?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like cartoons and what's the appeal of the anime, Spenny, as opposed to
big anime titties? No.
Okay, all right, here we go.
And it only and look, that fit right in the window of what's left in the segment.
Yeah, this is what I'm getting on my thigh on my birthday. I'm getting that tattoo.
Now, will this one be on the inner thigh?
No, that's just going to be on my thigh.
Where will that be in relation to the Dan Campbell one?
On the other thigh.
Okay.
This is my favorite character from my favorite manga of all time. So
what's the character's name?
Sanji.
And what does he do?
He kicks. He's a cook, and he like fights with his legs because he doesn't use his hands because the hands are only for cooking. But it's about pirates, and so he's the cook for their ship.
Mike G says Neal is the Ninja Scroll of Tone. I don't know what that means.
Ninja Scroll is like the OG anime, like one of the first ones is ever.
That was a compliment.
Yeah,
it was, I guess. Ryan Numi, Sanji is epic.
Sanji's the man. Yeah.
Heavy Metal, Popeye. Yeah, so it is.
I don't watch High School DxD, but I've seen the memes. It's saucy, as some people would say.
Saucy?
Yeah,
wow.
I've never seen it. There's a lot of good ones coming out, though.
MK1 Beta is smooth. Byrne says, Neal, just walk away. I gave him the 3 minutes, Byrne.
Hey, hold on, one more. Shad216JS says Sam is the Sakura of WSN. Is that true?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Sakura, she's a character from Naruto who is notably like good for nothing. Doesn't do anything.
All right.
Very, very on brand for Shad 216JF. He just like lives in this chat to like, hate me. It's all good. It's all good.
Well, Swiss Insurance would be the Sanji of insurers out there, right?
That's true.
I mean, it would be. If Sanji is the best, then Swiss Insurance certainly is the best. Are you planning or sponsoring a golf outing this year? Ask Swiss Insurance about hole-in-one putting contest and $1 million shootout coverage. For a very affordable amount, you could give away a huge prize like $10,000 or a new car. Help build your business with big ideas. Check out Swiss today, SwissINS.com, or call Mark at 248-800-4177. Again, call Mark at 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
To brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit. But we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. You want to get in there? Easy. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel, and boom, you can jump in there, get your thoughts out there. Thousands of people ramping up for the NFL season, and you know that it's happening. Had a great interview with Damontre Moore a couple minutes ago. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast page. You can go back, rewind, fast forward, listen to his thoughts about Dan Campbell. The man played for him down in Miami, so he knows. Talks about when they beat Tom Brady and the Patriots and all that kind of stuff. So get on out there, do the things, leave a 5-star review as well. Make fun of Sam Flannel if you want, whatever you want to do. Whatever you guys want to do. But yeah, we are getting back into it here. Hour number 2 of the show. Have some Detroit Lions stuff to get into. The Jameson Williams thing is always there. But I did want to talk about some of the other guys too. And look, we laugh at Sam Flannel, and we laugh at some of his takes. But here is one where Sam Flannel drilled this one and knocked it out of the park. And I'm calling it right now, too. So all I needed to see, D-Mac. You know I like to swoop in and get a look and make conclusions off of it.
The eyeball test. And,
the eyeball test.
That's
big eyeball test, guys.
Absolutely.
Brian Branch passes the eyeball test.
All day.
You were there. You were in the building. You said you heard it. You heard the hit.
It all over. You know, like that's the thing. And just, to see this, I think to see the speed in the secondary and different stuff like that. But the fact that then you hear everybody talk about how you can play him in nickel, you can play him at safety, the versatility of this guy, even to play corner if you need him to be. He is going to turn into probably being one of the special switchblades on defense. But definitely a guy that made an impact in his first exhibition game for sure.
Yeah, and again, the reviews are in. Big time love out there for what Brian Branch did. And D-Mac, just, again, it goes back to it where Branch, where he was drafted, and it was one of those ones where, and we get this all the time when we watch these drafts, especially when you're watching day 3, day 4, those names that are like best available, and you're picking in like 7 picks, and there's a guy like number 1 or number 2 or number 3 best available, and you just kind of hold your breath. I did kind of feel that way when I was watching the draft about Brian Branch. I know Sam Flannel was, because he was calling for it. So Flannel, I'm going to give you credit on this one.
Thank you.
So far, the early returns, you were correct on this one.
Yeah, it's funny. When we talk about preseason football, you kind of alluded to it earlier. I sometimes call the Monday after the first preseason game Confirmation Bias Monday. And it certainly played out with Brian Branch.
Depending on your narrative.
I mean, and that's fair, but we all do it. But Brian Branch, when he made that tackle for loss in the backfield, just flattened Cole Beasley like a pancake. That was all I needed to see. I mean, you saw him in coverage. You saw him against the run. He was all over the field. He was, in my opinion, one of the best players on the whole field during his time where he was in the game. And I think right now, after what you've seen from the preseason game, after what you've seen out of camp, I think he's starting day 1. And if he's not starting, he's certainly going to get enough snaps to maybe challenge for an all-rookie spot and maybe even get some Defensive Rookie of the Year votes. I know that's a little aggressive, but if he plays a full season, I don't know.
Spenmo, is he getting a little extra? He's getting a little extra.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is. I think with this guy, he's getting the reps at the starting nickel spot. Like, I don't think it's too crazy to think that he could be making a difference like that.
Listen, I was thinking the same sort of thing Ryan Nermy was in the chat thread. As Brian Branch reminds me a lot of one of my favorite lines of all time, Benny Blades, and it's the smoke out of that secondary. And I'll give Sam as much shit as anybody, but when he nailed it, and I don't think he's out of line with the opportunity that this guy's gonna make. Right? To me, he's the Amon-Ra St. Brown of this draft and of the defense and whatever. He's going to make you play him because he's going to force your hand into everything else. And Sam, right now, and it's only one exhibition game and obviously health and stuff like this, but from what everybody's talking about, you just see that not only the versatility, but the fact that to play so many different positions and to be effective as a rookie. This is something I think that to gloss over is that as the season goes on, we may be talking about this guy a lot more.
Chuck brings up a great point, and I think it's worthy of discussion right here for the next few minutes. Level of concern, as Chuck says, Well, Flannel just jinxed him. Remember DeAndre Swift. Remember Scott Frost. And I do remember them, painfully. I do remember them. I was told Nebraska was, quote, back. Scott Frost was going to make them into a player. He was fired in October. They spent $12 million more to fire him 3 weeks earlier than they could have to save some money. DeAndre Swift, I was told, was going to lead the NFC in rushing.
You didn't even go to Ben Wallace and Johnny Cash. I mean, but in this one, it's different. And you know what? Even Sam can't, because this guy's special. I'd be more concerned with Sam Jinx and James Williams than Brian Branch, because I think that what you see is what you get, and it's only going to get better.
Okay, so you have zero concern. There's got to be some concern, D-Mac.
No.
Just because of who you're dealing with here with Sam Flannel.
No, Neal, because when you get to a different level, Sam his Jinxum can't even reach that high.
So he's above it.
Oh, Branch is above it. Branch is above Flannel's Jinxum.
Spenmo. Are you a little concerned that with Sam Flannel on the track record?
No, I don't
This is the one
jinxes.
thing I'm not.
Yeah, I don't believe in jinxes.
Okay.
I think it just comes down to good and bad takes. And this is finally, we knew, 2 years we'd have one? I mean, finally, Sam, way to go.
Well, I mean,
you did it, buddy.
You did it, little guy.
I know it wasn't it's not quite the same thing because he was a number two overall pick, but let the record also show that I was as high on Aiden Hutchinson as anyone at that network, and I would say so far he has panned out. So it wasn't my first good take, even though saying that a number 2 overall pick is going to be great isn't exactly going out on a limb. I think caped up for him more than anybody, just for the record.
Blade Noisewood says, so you all are this excited over one big hit. Well, Blade, what about this? I was told Jameson Williams is a bust. I'm just doing what everybody else does. One moment in time determines the entire path of your career in one preseason game, right? Am I doing this right, guys?
Are you seriously talking about the hit? Come on, man. It's not the hit. It's the fact that he's out there in those positions and he's forced the coaching staff to start the rookie and stuff like this. Yeah, the hit's part of it, but the positioning and the fact that what he brings in the backfield. So availability, I don't see regression in this guy. Because I see work ethic. And I hear all the things that everybody else is talking about, and it seems real. You talk about eyeball tests, Neal. That's one of the biggest eyeball tests that came through to me was him.
And I know, right, because it's a signature play. So it's going to get everybody bricked and stoked and everything like that. But what it does for me, it's not even that hit, guys. Blade, it's not that hit. It's the talk now, right? The talk of where does he fit in the depth chart? Is he going to start? How big of a piece is he going to be responsible for in this defense? Because through all this, you don't know. Again, and I want to do this segment later. I'm going to ask you what you didn't like from the preseason game, or not even from the preseason game, just from camp so far, because I want to do a check-in, because there's one I am concerned about that Brian Branch figures in intimately.
I have a question.
Yes.
What happens when rookies come in and fight for starting jobs? What's that do to the locker room or the rest of the team and the rest of the guys in there, whether you're a veteran or not? Challenges you, makes you all better. So the fact that Branch is in here pushing guys to the limit and stuff like that, it ain't like he's been given anything. He's earned it. That's where it's different. To your point, Sam, on the second, just because second overall Hutchinson's like Jameson Williams, they're going to give him every opportunity to succeed. But what Brian Branch did is more what Amon-Ra St. Brown did from right out of the gate and say, I'm here. This is mine. Now, yes, one game, but if we're talking about eyeball test and what I think from how I felt, and it's not that hit. It's watching him in the positioning and stuff like this, not only in the secondary, but also too, what was something stopping teams on third down and stopping the run. If he could come up there and help plug with the linebackers and be able to deliver hits like that, that's a deterrent. My biggest takeaway was the fact that, oh my gosh, we might have another Benny Blades in the backfield. That's it. That's it.
The Punisher. Benny's my guy. I got to get him on.
Yeah, we got to get him on. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
But that's what it was, because here's the thing. What happens when you go to the line of scrimmage as an offense? Right? Oh, you got to worry about Hutchinson and Houston and this guy and that guy. Oh, and then the guy flying around from the safety position, if that's who it's going to be, or the nickel. that can cover. Come on, man.
Benny Blades is my favorite interview I've ever done in my life, and I just hit him on social media when I was doing college radio at Oakland. Just DM'd him on social media. Said, hey, man, I want to talk college football on the Lions with you. You want to come on? He responds like 45 seconds later. Yeah, man. Yeah, let's do it. He didn't even know me or anything. He pops on. We started talking. It was when the U had come out.
Okay.
Remember the 30 for 30 on the U?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him about it. And I said, hey, how good did it feel, like putting it on Notre Dame and stuff like that? He's like, he goes, and I have the audio somewhere, and it's great audio. He said, what people don't know about Notre Dame is, were we doing some crazy stuff at the U? Was the U doing crazy stuff in recruiting? Yes. You know who the biggest envelopes I ever got from when I was in high school? You know where those envelopes were from? Notre Dame.
Love it.
He didn't give a shit,
Love
dude.
It.
It's all he's the best, man. I'm going to get him on. I want to ask him what he thinks about Brian Branch. We're going to do that. That's a great call. I won't have to rely on Maz for this one. I'll actually do it myself. So that one will get done. Because 2 to 4 won't be the priority when I do it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll do it that way.
Look out. Next thing you know, no mid equipment.
There you go. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Rich Diana, been a fan for decades and have never been this stoked. I love it. I'm going to put Spemo on the spot when we come back because I just sent you something in the Slack from earlier because I want to call an audible and do this because of the level of stokedom. You know how I like to do this, right? Check in on the level of stokedom and see where everybody is with it. This one makes me nervous. I'll just say it like that. Planet Fitness Studios does not make me nervous. Why? Because I know what I'm getting every Planet Fitness I walk into around the world. I know what it is. I'm a Black Card member. It's just $24.99 a month. I basically come and go and own Planet Fitness as much as a stockholder does. You're a one gym kind of person. Maybe it's around the corner. $1 down, $10 a month. Access to your home gym. It's perfect, guys. All the cardio equipment, all the weight equipment. They got 30-minute circuits. However you want to get your business handled, you can do it at Planet Fitness. I don't understand why anybody would be anywhere else. If you're joining a gym, it's got to be Planet Fitness. It's easy, guys. Now, you still got to go do the work. That's on you to get in there and do the work. But Planet Fitness is as easy as it gets, everybody. $1 down, $10 a month. Access to your home gym. You are in there. PlanetFitness.com, that's the website, or just pull in the parking lot. They'll take care of you in there. It takes about 8 minutes, and then boom, you're working out. Do it, guys. Take that first step, get in there, and get your work done at Planet Fitness. I can't recommend them enough. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for the Academy of Warren. That's right, our guy, Mr. Kearney. You can enroll now at academyofwarren.net. They got the athletic side of it covered. Brand new state-of-the-art sports dome, field house, regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Can also be used for 7-on-7 football. Kindergarten through 8th grade with AM, PM latchkey. That's big. We know this, guys. Small classroom sizes. Alerting Street. Futuristic Media Center. Free breakfast and lunch. You see what I'm listing here, guys? Tools. tools for your kids to get the best education possible. Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K through 8 athletics as well. Ermanni and Edwards will be broadcasting from the Carnival on August 24th out there at Academy of Warren. Come meet the staff and explore your child's new school. Now accepting new enrollment. Go to academyofwarren.net. Keeping it pushing, Vicky Energy. Ooh.
Is it a good one?
Yeah. Yeah, a little Sunday night in the fall. I got some dinner going or something like that. I could vibe in the kitchen. Yeah. Yeah, I like that one, D-Mac. I know you didn't come up with that.
I was a little later than that, but yeah.
Did you come up with that one, Sam Flannel?
No, this was a
JB special.
This was a JB special.
Oh, wow.
He's the man.
He is the GOAT.
Yes.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Wheezy D313, speaking to you, Sam Flannel. Flannel gets crucified for being his own man. I got your back, Flannel.
Thank you.
Even though your Ben Wallace take is the worst take in sports history.
Well, okay, you give it, then you take it away. But the overall sentiment, I do appreciate, Wheezy D13.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I laughed out loud during the commercial. I apologize, but the chat thread's the best. You're looking vitriolic carnage.
Yeah.
Did you see that? You guys are the best. That popped me.
Dan Wood says that is no yellow submarine. I know it's actually good, Dan Wood. So that's why it's no yellow submarine. I did want to get to this, and sometimes look, Spencer Raxter busts his ass around here, right?
Busts his ass.
Comes up with the show sheet and all these topics and things like
all
that,
these
and a lot of them are great. And there's other ones I'm going to get to from it, but this caught my eye this morning, and it staggered me. Darren Ruhl tweeted, and listen to this, guys. The Lions go from 25-1 to 22-1 to win the Super Bowl at BetMGM.
Okay.
Here's the sentence. Here's the hook. The Lions to win the NFC are the biggest liability for BetMGM. 36% of the money's on Detroit to win the conference. 8% of the money on the Lions to win the Super Bowl. I want to say that to you again. And as I say this, D-Mac, I get goosebumps on my arms even saying it because I don't know how I feel about it yet. Your Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions to win the NFC are the biggest liability for the BetMGM Sportsbook. That's courtesy of Darren Ruhl. And D-Mac, it bricks me and it stokes me, right? When I read it, I get bricked and I get stoked when I read it. But then I go back to it, and old common sense Neal comes in and kicks into play and says, Neal, how often does the biggest liability hit the sports
That'd be
book?
interesting for somebody to go back, maybe do a little bit of a
The
dive.
marketing campaign, the buildings, the budgets, the revenue tells me not often.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
But
not often.
But the biggest thing is that, A, they're not the biggest liability to themselves, but we might find a way to break Vegas. Right? They keep making it, keep getting
we
bigger.
laugh about that.
We did, but
we laugh about that, D-Mac. I go to Vegas, you go to Vegas. Spemo, when you go out to Vegas, you're going to be sitting there thinking about, I'm going to get on a heater, and I'm going to take Las Vegas down. The town's built on that, right? Your Detroit Lions can take down Las Vegas.
So are you? Does it make you feel better that people are putting their money where their mouth is, or does it, or is this more like the Sam Flannel jinx thing? You think it's like, are you are concerned because you don't think it's real, or are you concerned because too many people think it's real? Then it means it can't be real because it's just
yes to all of it.
Okay.
The answer is yes to all of it.
I look at it like, stoked, not scared, all in, bricked up, let's go. Lions Nation. So you don't, I mean, you're the bet guy. You're the money guy.
I know, and that's what's making me uncomfortable about all of it, D-Mac.
But if we're going to be consistent and say, I saw in the heavyweights yesterday, didn't you guys put SOL to bed? Didn't you bury SOL?
You exercised.
Yeah,
so
we did.
You know what? Isn't this another example of SOL being gone? Now, you don't have to be comfortable, and you can be uncomfortable in new situations. You know, I remember the first time I played in the Stanley Cup Finals. You know, I mean, it's a different experience. Or the first time you look at, like, Damontre Moore was telling us stuff like this, is that what's going on in training camp between week 1 and week 2 of exhibition is, okay, you've been out there. You got the bright lights, the big seat. Now it's time to go back to work. right? So I don't look at it. I look at it as, okay, if we're going to preach it, but then it's not just talk. People are putting the money behind it. So, hey, you know what? Lions fans, we're either going to win together or lose together, which we're used to doing anyways. So how bad can it be? I like it.
Big Play Jay says, I'm a Black Card member too, and there's a location, Planet Fitness location, 2 minutes away from my house. Planet Fitness is great. Say it, Flannel. Say it, Flannel.
Planet Fitness is great.
There you go. All right, I like it. Rich Diana says it keeps on building. And again, talking about it. The Detroit Lions are the biggest liability for BetMGM in accordance with winning the NFC. That's the worst case scenario for the sports book, for the Lions to win the NFC.
About time they get stuck in. About time. Get up! Get up!
The people fight back. Bradley K. Here's where this verbalizes it perfectly for me. Bradley K. 36% is wild. I was texting with one of my friends about this too, and we honestly don't even know how to process it. And Bradley, that's exactly, I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly where I am. I don't know how to process it either, because I get bricked. I get stoked, but then I get scared.
Yeah.
Because BetMGM ain't built on the biggest liability winning.
Yeah, but you know what? So here's the thing, right? So are you saying, if I asked you, would you put that bet to win the NFC in the get right?
No.
Okay, so you're not there yet,
yeah.
Right? So it goes down to and if you're scared because of new things to what's going to come, then it's not really, you're not going out of fear. You're going to attack that fear because you're going in head first. We're all going in face first, no matter if the monster's there or not. We're going to face it, and I think it's out of any year in the past, or my 51 years and whatever since I can remember watching in the late 70s, watching Lions football, that this is as real as it gets. And because everything is pointing that way. But we'll wait and see. You could be right. This could be the greatest setup in history, but I don't think so. I bet them.
D-Mac, all right. I got to do a come to Jesus right now about how I'm dealing with all this stuff, okay? I thought that the first preseason game, would arrive and it would play, and some of it would lessen, like the tension would lessen. At D-Mac, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's going to
continue because you're in a position that you haven't been before, right? We haven't been here because it's getting real. The realer it gets, right, where you're feeling that, oh my God, you get afraid because of now you have expectations.
Yes, and so
I'm
don't
not
be
afraid of expectations. Let's exceed those expectations, and then look and see who are the guys leading us to those expectations. You're either all in or all out.
And Ryan says after the brick goes away, reality kind of sets in, and it's just that's where I am. Like I get super stoked. And then I get scared, and then I get bricked, and then I get scared, and then I get stoked, and then I get scared. Then I see this, and I start worrying about it again. But then as the games come closer, I get fired up. I don't know if I'm going to last.
Well, that's everybody. Because this is going to be the most intense, emotional, physical, mental season for a lot of us because we're going to a new ground. We're going places we've never been before. And that's the reality of it. So own it. It's okay. Neal, the first loss of the season is going to be the sky's falling, right? Whereas I'm sure that if the first one, can you imagine if you beat Kansas City?
The sky's falling the other way.
Right. So that's the whole season we're going to deal with. It's going to be extremes. And hopefully the extremes on the up outweigh the ones on the down, because then we will win the division and host the playoff game.
Oh my gosh, it's just...
You want it the other way? You can go back to the last 50 years and have it the other way. Anybody? You want it the way it's been, or you want it like this? Come on.
No, this is more fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
this is more
freaking
fun.
Embrace it and go, full bore. If Damontre used the 300 Leonidas, let's follow Dan Campbell, all of us. Right? The worst thing that could happen. I know they don't go to Valhalla, but, we're going to end up in Valhalla.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I want your opinion on this one. Rack says, Neal is fear bricked for the entire Lions season. Like they're saying it is like a bricked out of fear.
How about that? Hottest chick you ever been with? You had to have little butterflies, before walking into that situation.
That's fair.
But I'm sure
that's actually true.
Yeah.
Don't act like Sam. Spenny?
My wife.
There you go.
I was going to say, D-Mac, I'm still with the hottest chick I've ever seen in my life.
Nicely done, Neal.
Same.
Nicely done.
Hey.
Nicely done, guys. But Spenny, you understand, right?
Feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So, and did it stop? Did it stop?
No.
But you fired.
You
through
conquer it.
So scared and bricked. Let's do it. But you're still bricked.
Lorena Rios, Neal, just don't turn to Viagra. Viagra sales are plummeting.
No, it's
around the
Blue Chew
Metro
now,
Detroit
right?
area.
It's Blue Chew.
None of it. You don't even need it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not even
Dan
needed.
Campbell sauce. It's that barbecue sauce coming out of Allen Park.
Absolutely.
Dan Campbell should do a barbecue sauce. Everybody would buy it.
All right. What could be better than watching celebrities like Braylon Edwards or Darren McCarty play golf? I got to do that yesterday, as a matter of fact. Playing golf yourself and being treated like a celebrity. That's what. Stop in any Randy Wise automotive dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. VIP transportation, free golf to one of Michigan's best courses, and a tasty steak after. Compliments of Fairway Packing Company. Guys, it's all worth it just for the steak alone. Trust me. Make the wise decision with your next automotive purchase and get to any Randy Wise automotive dealership and enter for your chance to win and be a part of the Randy Wise Automotive Team Celebrity Golf Tour.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That is exactly what the Mark White and Associates offers. It's called the Minute by Minute Listing Agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell some real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. That's 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. And I know where this is headed, and I'm going to get there in a couple of seconds. Zachary Jones, I'm honestly shocked nobody's talking about how Will Harris was put in a blender last game. Zach, I did notice that. It was a rough go. I know we want to celebrate, and all that stuff. What you said is true. So he's got to get better. He's probably the first one that knows that too. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Let's go Red Wings Sparty. Winter will be 6 weeks longer this year due to Uncle Neal seeing his brick shadow. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. Let me say this too, D-Mac. Detroit Lions, please be good this year. Please be good. For our sake, for your sake, for everybody's sake.
Are you begging right now after the first section?
Yes,
okay,
I am.
right.
D-Mac, yes, I am.
That's okay.
Yes, you were in the building. You heard the crowd. Dan Campbell said to the media that the crowd was like a regular season sold-out game. He said he's never seen anything like it at the end of an exhibition game.
Silent count.
I got the video.
And
do you really?
Yeah. Nobody left the I did. But I was like the only one that was leaving. That the people stayed to the end.
I was there until the last play.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
So you can confirm.
Yes.
I forgot you were there. We have to get the birthday recap.
Yeah.
We will get that. So you have that. They have the Dan Campbell sound.
Yeah.
I want you guys to listen to this just to kind of further my point. Here's Dan Campbell talking about the crowd.
Our fans were unbelievable the other night. I mean, for a preseason game, you're telling your young players and your rookies how, hey, man, it's the first one, NFL game. And, it ought to be a pretty good atmosphere. But, my God, I didn't expect that. I don't think any of them did. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's a packed house for a preseason. So it was awesome. I mean, they were using silent count on offense in a preseason game. So it certainly helped. So that was awesome.
Visiting team had to use a silent count in a preseason game at the end, and the crowd was going nuts. Spenmo, you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Was it hype?
It was. It was very hype. It was loud. There was a ton of people there. It was basically sold out. It was a lot of fun.
And they won.
And
that crowd wanted them to win.
Oh, yeah.
Please be good, Lions. Please give us this one. Yes, I'm begging right now. I am begging right now. I'm sorry, D-Mac. Please give us this.
You feel you
please.
have to beg?
Please. No, I don't feel like I, quote, have to beg. It's just I haven't wanted anything more than this in my sports fandom. I haven't, D-Mac. This has been it. Since the time I was a little kid to being a kid with my dad at that playoff game at the Silverdome. Please give us this. Please.
What is it that they're giving us?
Just
that you want? The NFC North?
Just don't pull the football away from us again. Please don't do that. Don't do that to us. I can't speak for everybody, but people could be broken if we don't get this. Like they could be emotionally, spiritually. Please be good.
Oh, hey, you know what? The vulnerability and the fact that the emotions are open. We're all open. Open wounds. Like this. In order to get through that, Neal, the only way out is to get beyond that. You have to go through this. And you know what? You have to mentally prepare yourself, right? That it might. What if they end up with injuries? What if this happens? What if that happens and it doesn't play out? But you just don't have that vibe and that feeling because you figure that the right people are there as far as players, coaches, everything else. That's what you have to have faith in. And you have to trust it. It's a lot of faith driven to be a sports fan, especially to be a Lions fan. But you know what? What else do we have to go on? You want it to be the same way it's always been? Or you want to step out into the spotlight and actually, be there to do something? So, the fans are a huge part of this. Dan Campbell tells you that they're going on this journey. We're going on it together. That was the best part about winning championships in this city. We didn't just win. We all won. And sharing it. And that's what it's all about. And that's what Dan Campbell's trying to bring back here with these players, with the right guys. So let's go on this journey. And you know what? What's the worst case? Worst case is it doesn't pan out. We don't make the playoffs or whatever. We're still a great team in a great position. Some questions got to be made. We're talking about 4 guys that we drafted in the first few rounds that are going to probably start.
And you know what, D-Mac? That's where, because people are telling me, they're like, Neal.
It's not this. It's not. So don't take that. It's now or never, because that's not it. We're in the window.
That's my blanket.
There's your blanket.
That's my security blanket
right
there.
Right now, decisions have to be made. The questions come up. If they don't get it done, then do you move from Goff? Do you go to those are the questions made. Are you going to extend? But you don't have to make those decisions yet. And no matter what, you still got Hutchinson, you still got Sewell, you got all these other guys. You have the basis of a team that's not going away in one season.
And that's the security blanket with it all. And look, there will be, if it doesn't come together, say they don't make the playoffs this year or whatever, that is why, for all the people that will be jumping off the bandwagon, or so this is it, I'm never coming back, they broke my heart for the last time, through all of it, that's the one thing that allows me to kind of step into this. You know what I'm saying? And look, Steve Brown says it. Neal just proved my stance to be correct. I'm stoked and scared. I love and I hate having high expectations for the Lions. And Steve, you put that very well, because that's where I am. But here's the difference with it before. We knew over the past 20-plus years, we knew that it was fake.
Fugazi.
Like Fugazi. It was a house made of paper. We knew that it was an isolated one trick run. That was it. And it was over from there. Even going back to 2014 when they had that playoff win robbed from them by the officials and the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm always the first to say never blame officials. Never. Except for that time. That's the one time it's true. But I digress. That we all knew it was fake because Sue was going to leave. And he left. And when he left, the music died. That was it. They had a historically great defense, but management couldn't get it done, and he left, and it was over. That's the one saving grace with this, D-Mac. Why I am prepared to be hurt to some degree. Because I know it's not fake. I know it's not. Why? Because you were there. I see the talent. We know the guys he's drafting, all of it. That's what makes me feel bad. That's why I'm not 100% vulnerable, because it's real. Because it's real. Because there's a depth of talent. Because there's hope. Because there's, goddamn it, because there's good players.
Here's the difference, right? All of that is true, but they're all on the same page, and that's never been the case, right? Where you mentioned where you had the last time to win when you had Ndamukong Suh, but you knew that was it because he was out of here, right? Not fully committed. When your best player's not committed, how the hell can you move forward? Now the difference is everybody's committed from Sheila down, right, to this organization to change this and make this different, because it is different. And that, I mean, it's okay. Here, let's go to, I'm going to give you a little bit of recovery, okay? So the fact that the self-awareness to the fact that you're bricked, stoked, and scared at this point, put that monster in front of you and keep talking about why you're scared, because that way you can talk it out and you take the power away from it. It's okay, because it's new. For all of us, for every single Lions fan, unless you're 100.
I just wanted to talk through that for a couple minutes.
Did it help?
It did. It did help.
Because that's the difference between before, right?
Yes.
When we go, okay, whatever year it is, it's like, oh my God, it's now or never, because it's not going to be the same.
And here's this even furthers the point.
Go to your bag, right? Salary cap, draft capital, all this stuff.
It's built.
Rookie contracts.
It's built.
Right?
It's built. The infrastructure's in place.
The infrastructure's in place.
The basement's poured.
Is the infrastructure more in place than it probably ever has been? Ever?
Since the early 90s.
Okay.
Yes.
Get your little brick up again a little bit.
Okay.
Get a little
all right.
brick. Get a little bricky there.
A little poke coming through. Yeah.
There you go.
And here's, guys, you guys furthered the point. And we had a revelation here today. I'm glad I laid out on the couch with you guys for a few minutes. I talked about the 2014 team and Sue leaving. And right away, Tiger Town goes to, should have drafted Aaron Donald. We're done with that now, guys. With the way this team's built right now, we're done with that. Because the draft picks are piling up. And the talent's piling up.
Oh, my gosh. Have we mentioned something about missing on a second rounder in a while?
No. There's not one card in the deck that can save us. We're not drawing dead, to put it in poker terms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The percentages are in our favor.
Absolutely.
We have the lead in percentage going into the river. We have the lead.
So
we have the made hand.
Get your money in when you're ahead.
We have the made hand.
Get your money in when you're ahead.
Like that's where it is. I'm glad we talked. I needed this, you guys.
And
Thank
David
you.
Baxter nails it. Great way to end it. And it's just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
Right.
Come on, get stoked again, boys. Bricks. Stoked.
I'm in.
All right.
I'm in again. We're going to have more episodes like this. I'm telling you guys.
All year, but that's why it's important to talk about your feelings.
If you love me, you'll stay with me through this time while I work on myself.
As long as you talk it out. As long as you're open and honest about your feelings.
Just allow me to work on myself as we go through this journey.
And I will allow your growth. Exactly.
Spenmo,
progress, not perfection, please.
Yeah, Spenmo, are you going to allow me to work on myself while we stay in this relationship?
Yeah, I don't talk about anything to anybody though. I'm not good at that. Something I keep everything bottled up inside.
That's not good, Spen.
Yeah, I know.
Not good.
So you're all in then. Like you don't have a recourse.
No.
And if it doesn't work, there'll just be an explosion.
Yeah, it's just a bridge.
Well, I'll say this. We're all self-aware in this room. I don't know what to do to help you, except hope it works out.
All right.
Oh, speaking of perfect ad read segment, I could go talk to these guys.
Well, hey, the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse, Benmo. 2 areas.
It's true. That is true.
2 areas. The podcast called This Is the S Word helps address the stigma associated with seeking help. For real, if you guys are struggling or you know someone that's struggling, go to thesportsma.com. The Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for 5 Iron Golf. Play, practice, and party at 5 Iron Golf, located inside the Cambria Hotel in downtown Detroit. It's downtown's newest sports bar, 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, a full bar, and restaurant. Mention promo code Woodward at checkout. Get 50% off your first visit. So go to 5irongolf.com to tee up the good times. And don't forget the Woodward Sports Network will have a Thursday night golf league on the simulators with you, the Woodward Sports fans. We'll be broadcasting live from there on Thursday, as a matter of fact. The Thursday night league is hosted by 5 Iron Golf and co-presented by Mark White and Associates, and the Finnish long drink beverage as well. That's 5irongolf.com. We'll see you on Thursday from live inside the Cambria Hotel. Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Big time show today, guys. Big time stuff. Spenmo, you were up against it behind the glass there multiple times. Flawless victory.
I do what I can. I appreciate it. You guys make it easy.
Flawless victory. Sam Flannel, you were here too. We also have D-Mac, Darren McCarty. But again, you guys' show flew by today. Absolutely flew by. Happy to be back in it. Steve-O, baby. Guys, why shouldn't I be stoked? Tell me why. It's been 31 years of this crap. There are no guarantees. No doubt. Brick House from AC as well. But, yeah, I'm glad we talked through it. Answer 14 says, Neal, we got you all the love you need. So I am glad to hear that. The other one, answer 14, is it wrong to have a T-bone steak for lunch? No.
Steak for lunch?
Yeah, steak for breakfast.
Yeah.
It's never wrong to have a T-bone steak. Jay Single says, put him on the glass, Benny. Oh, people were asking, too, about the shirtless rant with you and Lucas.
Oh, yeah.
That's out there somewhere, isn't it?
It's out there somewhere, yeah. I don't remember what day it was.
Yeah, but I did want to get into this as well. And I know that we've had a love fest here about the first preseason game. But, no matter what side of the fence you're on about it, no matter what side of the fence you were on about it, no matter what faces you made on draft day when the pick was announced, Pro Football Focus, which is very much of the Jameson Williams camp. You use it to defend your narrative when you want to, and you use it to defend your narrative when you don't want to. Pro Football Focus, I would think, has got a nice slot, D-Mac, of they can be your main point or they can be your main anti-point. It's wild. But all I know is this. Of the NFL rookies, Jack Campbell graded out the highest for the week. in Pro Football Focus. And I'll cut you guys right off at the pass. The reaction on draft night, what did I say that night, D-Mac? I said, I'll trust the man making the pick.
Absolutely.
I'll trust the man making the pick.
I mean, so my question with Jack Campbell, and I mean, that's great, the stats and stuff like this, but the eyeball test or whatever, everybody that was there, the size, something like that, is that I think a lot of us were wondering how it would look, and to me, it looked good, right? It looked good. Obviously, there's going to be improvement, there's going to be ups and downs and stuff like this, but, if we're talking about what would you want out of a debut for, your 18th overall pick, that questionable pick by some people, but not by Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. So, and he's only going to get better, and he's big.
And that's, you know what, D-Mac, that's the thing that I didn't give him.
Big. He's like
Spenmo turned me on to that.
He's like Hutch big.
Yeah. Spenmo turned me on to that. I never gave him the due credit because, again, he was at Iowa. And you're awash in middom when you're at Iowa. It can't help but get on your clothes, the midness that comes from Iowa. And he was a victim of that. He certainly was. And Spenmo talked about, that was his walk away from camp, right? The eyeball test. So that is a big man. And so, I paid a little more attention and looked at it. I was like, damn, Spenmo was right, dude. Like, this guy's is a beast out there. And I would love to, I thought about this in the car. If I were ever to interview Brad Holmes, what would be, one of the questions I would ask him? And I think I would ask him this, and I want to relate. Stay with me for a minute here, because I want to relay this to something everybody can relate to, like fantasy football. And here's why. I'm gonna bring it all together in a second here. He took a running back, which wasn't the first running back off the board in the first round, and he took a weak side linebacker. Two positions that maybe the draft value board certainly does not value. Free agency tends to not value. However, I would ask him, I would say, Brad, to put it in terms that some of the fans maybe can vibe with. Because here's what I do with it. And I'll akin it to a fantasy football draft where I am one that will pay a premium for a kicker, or will pay a premium for a defense, or will pay a premium for a hurt player, or pay a premium for a suspended player. If I can get the best one, I'll do it. And I won't have a second thought about it. I'll do it. Was there an angle of that with Brad Holmes to where these are positions of need and these are the best guys at it that are in the draft? And I would wonder if that was some of the logic that was used. I don't know that you'll ever get an answer to that publicly, but is it the same kind of vibe? You know what I'm saying, D-Mac?
No, it is.
Am I making sense or no?
No, you are. And there's a couple things, right? And I think it goes to our conversation that we had yesterday about where you said, you know what? We were talking about Malcolm Rodriguez. And it really dawned when you said, yeah, and he's being used properly as a backup, right? When Malcolm Rodriguez can be your backup, that's sort of like Dylan Larkin being your 2C, right? Then they can be effective. That means that there's guys playing ahead of him, playing bigger positions. I love Malcolm to death, but right when you can put him in there and he can be effective where he doesn't have to be the starter and stuff like this, I think it's the development. There's also that, and the one thing that I noticed too, Neal, and I'm glad, and I forget who saw it because I apologize in the chat thread, but they brought up the fact of Kaminsky and Pascal not only being healthy. What did I notice, and this is a big thing? Remember how at the beginning of last year in the first half of the season, the gap control of our defensive line was awful? We talked about Hutch over pursuing and this and that. One of the things that you look to and realize is that the defensive line with the linebackers are coming together, because there was a lot of great gap control the other day. Guys disciplined in their lanes and stuff like this. To me, they're only going to get better. And I think it's, sort of the committee, but I liked everything that I sort of saw. Now, you want them to improve. You want guys to get better. You got to give Derek Barnes, some props, because being out there a lot and stuff like this.
And he gets a lot of flack too, but he's a 4th round pick, right? Derek Barnes.
But when you got Derek Barnes and you got Malcolm and it's the committee. We talk about the defensive line, we talk about who's going to get the sacks and stuff like this. But this committee at linebacker has proven that it can, might be able, to be something that wasn't a detriment like it has been in the past.
Talk about people being brick. Jeffrey Brown said, I just lifted my desk up off the ground without my hands. That is pretty brick.
You're in the wrong business.
You're in the wrong profession.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of love for the meat missile. Spenmo. Are those shirts live?
The shirts are live on woodwardsports.com.
The meat missile. Get your Jack Campbell meat missile shirt. Oh man, it cracks me up, man. It is unbelievable. David Baxter says the mock drafts make you feel a certain way sometimes. Just trust the man and see it through. Understand why he drafted him. And David, like that's the thing, right? Is he had a bit of a different spin on the conventional draft wisdom. But I think it's something that a lot of us may use, because I get irritated when people's sports takes reflect fantasy football takes. But I think this is one of the few times where it plays, where there is a comp to it, where he was willing to, in maybe some people's eyes, overpay for the position against, not in his eyes he didn't overpay, but to traditional wisdom or traditional thought, it was an overpay, according to a lot of people. It's just something where if he was going to get the best guy at it, he was going to do it. And I vibe
Frank
with that.
Sinatra did, baby. He did it his way, right? That's exactly what he did, and that's the one thing, to a point, to a man that we haven't seen Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell waver from. Getting their guys that are going to improve this team, not what everybody else for everybody else's team. These are their guys.
Hoof Hearted says Holmes would rather get an A or A+ player at a non-premium position than get a B or a B+ player at a premium position. And that's my point with it too. And even through all that, when you do that, because of the nature of the position, if they are great, their market becomes a little, there's a little bit of a hit on their market when you got to give them a second contract.
That's what it is. So
and I just thought of that one on my own right there.
Right. So that goes in with balancing and all this when it comes down to what the salary cap is and balancing the books and stuff like that. It's a lot like winning. Like if you would like to get the Lady Janes and like to win a new vehicle for you and a friend, that's right, a new car for you and your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Just get to Lady Janes and automatically register for your chance to win, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, haircuts for men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here on a Tuesday. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Brandon Katz, this is interesting. Quick question around the room. Would you say, Flannel, you're a Jameson Williams hater.
No.
Would you say that Jameson Williams on surface is a, quote, Dan Campbell guy?
Coming out of college, I would say coming out of college, maybe. I don't think he had any issues in terms of behavior in college, so maybe not.
Spenmo, would you say on surface, is he a... He doesn't give off the traits of a, quote, Dan Campbell guy to me. What's your thought?
No, I would agree with that.
No,
okay.
Dan Campbell guys on my Ross St. Brown, where you're just saying Jameson Williams, and it's sort of like you don't look at it because uber talented. But one thing is I say, not on surface, but below it, he's absolutely a Dan Campbell guy because he knows that he needs this weapon to be effective and to win in this league. And so he is going to be that guy.
Because Brandon Katzbot says Brad Holmes wouldn't have drafted Randy Moss since he isn't a Dan Campbell guy. So I would say
it's the
they
same
did,
position. He would have traded up and got him.
See what I'm saying right there? So Katzbot, that's wrong. That's wrong, bro.
Hee-haw.
Unless you think Jamison Williams is a Dan Campbell guy, which Brandon, I know you don't.
I want a donkey sound.
I know you don't think he's a Dan Campbell guy.
Thank you, bud.
So we got you there, Brandon. To quote Kyle, you played yourself.
It's true.
You played yourself there. Speaking of playing yourself, the weekend. We were not here yesterday, D-Mac and I. We were off winning chips, defending titles, and all that kind of stuff on the golf course. I need it. I need it in my life. I need the weekend recap of Easy's 29th birthday party.
30th.
30th birthday party.
Can we get, from the day Friday?
Take me through.
How did
Spenmo, you were off.
Yes.
Yeah, I was off.
And you were going to the game.
Yeah, I was going to the game.
All right, take me through. Come on.
So hanging out with somebody else Thursday night and had some stuff to do Friday morning. But then when I got off, I went home.
No court cases or anything.
No court cases.
Okay, beautiful.
No. It was I was hanging out with a nice, lovely young lady, and then we did something in the morning. And
okay, congrats.
Friday,
close the deal, bud.
So I go to the game. And we're hanging out at the game. And
did you go out to the bar beforehand?
We did. We hit the brass rail beforehand.
Oh, good.
Okay.
And so we were getting drunk there a little bit. I got some chicken tendies. I got some tequila shots. A couple Blue Moons.
How many warmsies?
3.
Yeah, about 3. And then
about 4 Blue Moons.
Yeah, about 4 Blue Moons.
Okay, so the Spencer Raxter base, a 3-4 slash line.
In full cycle, we get to the game. We're going down the seats. I grab 2 Blue Moons.
You get a couple
on my way
larges,
down,
yeah.
And then I come back.
Get 2
halfway
more.
through, get 2 more, and then get 2 more again. And after that, we go to Legends, a fine establishment.
Great local establishment in the Detroit community.
Yeah, on my way there, hit an ATM, take out like $200, $300, and we go to Legends, and we're up. We have our own booth. We have we got a bottle ordered, multiple buckets of beer ordered. We had a Casamigos bottle that was $450 for a bottle of Casamigos. Ridiculous, but it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory.
You know what you're walking into.
And there was like 7 guys there, so we all split it.
Yeah, okay.
And I paid for Easy to go up on stage, so he was on stage
and enjoy
on
the
a
activities
chair.
that come along with Legends.
There were, a few Legends dancers around him having a good time. I was up in a VIP area with a dancer for a little while. It was very good times, very good night. Yeah, and then
because you got to celebrate with your boy
and
for his birthday.
We were trying to
stereo.
We were trying to go to an after hours afterwards, trying to find an after hours. Someone sent us an address, and after hours are sketchy. It's just like a random building with no signs, no nothing. And so we were walking down the street. We saw a bunch of cars, and there was a door that was open, and there were lights on it. We were like, all right, that's probably the after hours. We walk in, and there's nothing going on. Nobody's there. We look in there. There's a dude watching Friends on a TV with some dude sleeping on the couch, and he's eating Chinese food. And he's got a 40 in his hand, and he's like a 40 caliber. He was not like a 40 beer. He's got the Blammy in his hand. And he's like, no party here tonight. I was like, oh shit. I was like, all right, all I got here. We walk out.
Have a tremendous evening, sir.
Yeah, and then we went to another after hours spot, and the guy told us it was $100 a head to get in, and we're like, all right, yeah, fuck you, buddy, and we all left, and then we ended up going home.
I'm proud of him.
Yeah, it was a good night.
Proud he didn't get shot.
Yep.
Did a lot of shots. 3-4. I like it.
I feel like everyone's just kind of glossing over the fact that you just walked in an open door.
Yeah.
And here's... You couldn't make that story up because no one would have the detail of there was a, quote, guy sleeping on a couch, quote, next to a guy who was eating Chinese food, watching Friends, and had a 40 caliber pistol in his hand.
Yes, he did.
A little insight. If you go to any after hours bar, everybody's packing.
Yeah.
So you're going in there. Yeah. I mean, this is the fact that he had it in his hand.
For sure.
Just wanted to make sure that he didn't have to entertain that night.
Oh, yeah. It was a good time. It was a good night.
Good.
Rich Diana says Spenmo building on his legend at Legends.
Legends is a good time.
I wish I would have gotten this story at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
That's great. Spemo, I love your stories, man. I love your stories.
I do what I can.
I live through them, as a matter of fact. Typically, I don't go this low rent or this lowbrow with comments. But right here at the end of the show, I will this time for this one. And my apologies. I forget who it was that said it. But I do remember.
Hoof-hearted, if you're gonna say.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Spencer served sausage in the morning.
No, I thought I was wrong. Hoof-hearted said the $100, the ugly tax.
Yeah. It was the no women tax.
That's fair.
I'm gonna teach you the tricks to the. Anyways, somebody told me back in the day. I wrote them down so I could pass them on to you.
All right, I think that's enough. Yeah, that's a good point to stop right there.
Good show.
I'm glad I did it right at the end. Was a good show. We'll be back at it again tomorrow, everybody. For Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well,
see you later.
See you later.